So this is part 1 of what if Deku was the successor of the demonic sect. So Deku's father was the sect leader of the demonic cult of villains. His sect was made up of quirkless people. He would give them power to stand atop in the world of quirks. He would teach them how to harness and control Darkness Queen cultivate, and through killing people they could add to their cultivation bases. But the more people they kill, the harder it would be for them to break through to the next realm and escape their bottleneck. So the demonic realms are grasping evil, into the demonic, demonic apprentice, demonic master, demonic king, and demonic god. The demonic sect was split into ranks: demonic soldiers, which is 10 to 19% of one for all; demonic captain, which is 20 to 29% of one for all; demonic generals, 30 to 44% of one for all; demonic lords, 45 to 69% of one for all; demonic kings, 70 to 120% of one for all; and demonic leader, which was 140% of one for all. That was just the raw physical strength. That's not with them using Kui. So with Kui, that's also like an extra like 20-30%. So in total, there are 6 demonic kings, 8 demonic lords, 30 demonic generals, 40 demonic captains, 50 demonic soldiers in the demonic sect. There are also many other people in demonic cult of villains, but they are spread out around the world to help control it and influence it from the shadows, because the demonic cult is all over the world. But the total that I just gave was just in Japan, for there are many more around the world. Based on the rank, they are allowed cult privileges such as cultivation pills to aid with cultivation, or demonic weapons. Deku's father Hisashi and his demonic cult have been around longer than quirks have existed. His cult has been around for hundreds of years, so much so that his sect is like the Illuminati, controlling the world in the shadows, killing anyone who dares to revolt against them. Every time a cultivator breaks through a barrier, they gain an extra 80 years. There are 3 barriers of every cultivation realm: low, middle, and high. But as soon as quirks start to manifest, the balance of power starts to shift. More and more people would resist, and the reach and influence of the world would slowly decline, as a league of villains and hero associations would constantly challenge the demonic sect. Hisashi, seeing that he didn't have too long to live in the mortal world, decided to have a successor, and when Deku is born, he has a special bloodline. He is the bloodline Enma's slave master, allowing him to grow his cultivation base at an alarming rate through killing with practically no bottleneck. It also allows everyone he kills to come back to life as his servants. Deku is trained to become the successor of the demonic sect. He is often pitted against other members of the sect to increase his cultivation base and for fighting experience. Hisashi, seeing that Deku was adequate in strength, allowed him to go on raids with the demonic captains and generals. On these raids, they would attack hero agencies and kill them. They would also attack villain gangs and organizations to establish dominance in their territories. In doing so, they would have a lot of quirkless people who had their lives ruined by heroes and villains for not having quirks would join their ranks. But their main targets would be the League of Villains. As Deku grew older, he grew to hate villains and heroes. They would exploit the use of their quirks for their own gain, ruining the lives of normal people, causing him to be ridiculed and beaten for not possessing a quirk, or as he liked to call them, a human disease. But the main point of Deku's hatred came from the death of his mother. Deku's mother was a casualty in the fight between All For One and All Might. When Deku was young, his mother and him would often go out shopping under the supervision of low demonic generals. They were leaving home when All For One and All Might started fighting. When All For One and All Might both shot their most powerful blast, the demonic generals put up barriers to protect Deku and his mother. But the collision of All Might and All For One's blast was too much, where the demonic generals, including Deku's mother, got on top of Deku to protect him from the blast, sacrificing themselves in the process. After that event, Deku swore to eradicate heroes and villains from the world. Now it is time for the ascension of Hisashi. As every member of the demonic cult gathers in the demonic sect's main headquarters, they bow to Hisashi, as he says, "Now then, my friends, I regret to inform you that my time has come. I can delay my ascension to godhood no longer. In my place, I leave my son, Deku, as my successor to the sect. Although I will not be with you, I will be watching over you with the other demonic gods in the demonic realms." As Hisashi starts to float upward and becomes surrounded with energy, Deku says, "Father, it is up to you now, my child, to carry out our revenge," says Hisashi as he ascends to godhood. Everyone in the sect has tears running down their eyes as Deku walks up to the throne and sits down, and everyone in the sect says, "Hail the sect leader, hail the sect leader," and they all start chanting, "For the glory of the sect leader, we shall have our revenge." After they are done, Deku says, "I will infiltrate UA as a villain. This way I can infiltrate the hero course in the League of Villains, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. The heroes will think I'm a student, and the villains will think that I'm a spy for them, but in reality, I'll be spying on both of them, and as soon as we have a chance to strike, we will eradicate both heroes and villains, and take over this wretched world." Deku, after building up a reputation as the masked demon for killing both heroes and villains villains during his solo raids was able to attract the attention of All For One. Young man, you have a promising future. One day you could even surpass me with your power. Oh no, you flatter me, said Deku, but he thought in his head, I hate you! I will kill you and everyone you hold there. Just keep on that smile, let's see how long you can last. Would you like to join the League of Villains? Deku with a grin on his face said, if it means I get to kill All Might, then I'll do anything. I look forward to it. From then on, Deku would take on missions from All For One and the League of Villains, building up trust with them. Finally, it's time for Deku to infiltrate UA. Before you go, I have something to give you, said All For One. What is it, Master? Said Deku. For serving me in the League of Villains, I believe that it's time for your reward. Masked Demon, I bestow upon you the quirk of Counterbody. Any force that hits you will be redirected in the form of an attack 2 times stronger. Your body will be able to absorb the impact and release it. Your quirk depends on how strong your body is. The stronger your body is, the more power of the blast you'll be able to release. Thank you, Master. With this amazing quirk, I vow to bring those heroes to their knees. Good then, go along, for our glory. Yes, sir. Damn him! I can't wait to see that bastard's face when I kill him and his pathetic villains. Now to UA. While President Mike is explaining the exam, Deku is sleeping. Ida, seeing this, decides to wake him up and say, wake up, that is disrespectful, not only to yourself but everyone else here. How could you sleep during the explanation when everyone else is nervous? As Deku woke up, he said, sorry, it's not my problem to care about weaklings. Touch me again and that'll be the last time you ever breathe. As Deku just let off intimidating darkness quee, and the form of the Grim Reaper was appearing behind Deku. Ida, seeing this, just backed down and walked off, scared. Now to the exam. Deku scored second in the written exam, and during the hero exam, he simply jogged to the robots, destroying them easily, getting second in the hero exam, because he didn't want to show his power, because part of being a spy is fitting in. I'm just gonna say that Uraraka avoided the robot unlike in the original. Next day, UA. Deku enters the classroom and sits down and appears to take a nap. In reality, he's cultivating. Deku is currently at high demonic apprentice, and his sect rank would be demonic general, but he is a patriarch or sect leader. Suddenly, Deku's sleep is disturbed as a man in a yellow sleeping bag appears and says, put on your gym clothes and go outside for a fitting exam. Whoever scores last gets expelled. As everyone else is surprised and in fear, Deku thinks, of course these weaklings would be afraid, and they call themselves heroes. I can't wait to kill them. As they head outside, they perform a test. Deku passes all of them easily, but puts water on his hair and lets it fall onto his face so it looks like he's sweating. When it comes to the ball throw, Deku gets 705.3, like in the original, pissing off Bakugo because that's 1 decimal higher than him, but he thinks, whatever, I got first in his exam, so he's not that strong. Now time for the heroes versus villains. The matchups are going to be the same as in the original. As Deku and Uraraka head forward, they are confronted by Bakugo. If you think you're better than me because you got 1 more decimal than me, you're wrong. To me, you'll always be second. Deku with a blank face rushes Bakugo and punches him in the gut, knocking him through a wall. As he gets up and coughs, he says, impressive, but that won't be enough to beat. As Deku rushes him again and punches him in the face, knocking him out. Then they proceed to get the bomb. Ida, seeing them, runs toward them and is then kicked in the gut by Deku, incapacitating him. Uraraka gets the bomb and is declared their win. After the class ends, Deku goes to the League of Villains hideout. He then tells them about the USJ and how it would be a good place to attack. After that, he then leaves and goes to the demonic sect, and then informs them of the USJ. Instead of it being just Class 1A using the USJ, it is going to be both 1A and 1B. Now to the USJ. As 13 is explaining the USJ to the classes, villains start to appear. To put on an act, Deku runs at the Nomu and is then thrown to the other side of the USJ. Then everyone else is teleported. But as they were teleported, the demonic cult members appeared, and it just becomes a free-for-all between the villains, the demonic cult members, and the student. At this point, the demonic cult members have slaughtered the villain, and the entire class 1B. Kurogiri teleports Tomura and himself away. Why were they there, damn it? As Deku then returns to his sect, he then laughs along with his fellow sect members, as most of the demonic soldiers have advanced to high demonic captain. After that, Deku went to the League of Villains. When he entered, he had a pissed off look in his face and destroyed a vase and said, God damn it, that was the perfect time. Who the hell snitched? As Tomura said, there's obviously a mole here. We need to weed them out and kill them. As All For One said, calm down, calm down. The demonic sect most likely has their own mole in UA. We need to reorganize and adapt our strategy towards the heroes in the demonic sect. Okay, now back to UA. So the students of UA are going to be on a break for 2 weeks due to the stress of the attack and to prepare for the sports festival. Okay, so now to the sports festival. When it comes to the race, Deku simply jogs. He doesn't get first, but he doesn't glass, so I'm just gonna say that he gets like 10th. Now when it comes to the point bandanas, he doesn't really try. Now to the matchup, Deku versus Todoroki. Todoroki shoots a giant wave of ice towards Deku, but Deku easily sidesteps it and rushes him and punches him in the gut. Then as Todoroki is being blasted away, Deku moves fast and punches him in the back. knocking him down. He then says, "If that's all you have, then give up." Then Todoroki says, "I refuse to use my father's power to win." "What then, are your eyes your father's too, huh? It's your body and your power, idiot." "Whatever, I give up. I don't want to deal with this," said Deku as he jumped on the stage and walked away. When it's a fight between Bakugo and Todoroki, it goes the same way. Bakugo gets first, Todoroki gets second, and Deku gets third. Bakugo is even more furious because both of his competitors gave up. Now to the students versus teachers, so the matchups are going to be the same, except Deku isn't going to be running away from All Might. He decides to face him head on because he hates him. So Bakugo and Deku both approach All Might. As All Might sees the both of them approaching, he sends a Detroit smash towards them, which Deku and Bakugo easily dodge. But then All Might jumps and appears in the middle of both of them and says, "Oklahoma Smash!" as he starts to create a hurricane by moving in circles, blowing them through buildings. As Deku gets up, All Might then goes to do a WWE slam with his elbow. But Deku, seeing this, quickly jumps up and uses All Might's hand to propel himself and wraps around All Might's head with his legs and flips him over. While All Might is on the floor, Deku charges up to clean his body and punches him in the spine. Then he grabs All Might with all his strength, lifts him up, and throws him through buildings. As All Might is struggling to get up, Bakugo lets off both of his gauntlets, blasting All Might through the other buildings, knocking him down. Then Deku and Bakugo are then declared the winners. And sub, don't be a bitch. Bye.